my back, baby. Stick my back. Stick it in. Stick it in. Like, what? Hey y'all. Welcome back to the Chizzy. My name is Serene. If you don't know, now your mother know, okay? I got a little shady for y'all. It's been a minute since I did a story time. Y'all already know I'm a certified storyteller. Story times are kind of sort of back, but they're going to be more so with the purpose. So like, I'm not just going to be coming on here telling y'all stuff that's entertaining, giving y'all tea if God's not gonna get no glory. Okay. Yeah. Clock it. You see that baby look right there? Jesus. Yeah. Certified Jesus yapper. Certified Jesus yapper right here, okay? If you don't know, I had a son, my beautiful, amazing son, Jetson. I had him last year. I wanted to be super intentional during my pregnancy. I wanted to have things planned out during my pregnancy. So at the end of my pregnancy, I started, watching videos about breastfeeding and pumping, and I took some classes, some courses, girl. I even had a whole birth plan, girl. I was watching videos on YouTube. I'm a certified YouTube University alumna, okay? So I'm on YouTube looking at videos about birth plans and all that. I'm trying to get the tea because, baby, we're gonna be locked and loaded, prepared. So had my whole birth plan. Let me see if I can even find my birth plan. I had bullet points for like before labor starts, once I'm in labor, pain control, birth. Any suggestions on what I should be sure to include in my hospital bag that I wouldn't think to bring? Your girl was not playing games. I didn't want to be lacking in any area. And so I just wanted to be really intentional and be as prepared, because the reason why I was trying to be super intentional and I wanted to be prepared is because I genuinely wanted to have my baby unmedicated and natural. Now, I am a very dramatic girl. Okay, I'm very dramatic and theatrical. And so for me to want to do an unmedicated natural birth is crazy work. But I genuinely just wanted to exercise in a physical sense, because my whole pregnancy, I struggled bad to spend time with God. I struggled bad to trust God during my pregnancy. At the tail end of my pregnancy, I really wanted to like finish it off with God and just allowing God to get glory from my birthing experience, because God knows I am not a high pain tolerance girl. I have a very low pain tolerance. Baby, pinch me, I'm gonna cry. Baby, it's that serious. I don't play, baby. I literally, was looking at it like, oh yeah, this is an opportunity for me to push through, because literally I had such a traumatizing pregnancy that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have my unmedicated natural birth, and I'm going to literally physically push for all the turmoil I went through during my pregnancy. It was like I was going to be physically pushing that pain out. So my son, his original birth date was in October, like at the beginning of October. And I was really excited because my birthday is also in October. It's mid-October. We went to go have like one of my last ultrasounds, and my entire pregnancy, he's been pretty big. And towards the tail end, he just kept getting bigger or whatnot. So my OB was like, he's getting really big. Like, my son was 9 pounds before I went into labor. At my last ultrasound, he was like 8 pounds. And she was saying that by the time I am expected to give birth, he would be at least 9 pounds. And if he was at 10 pounds, she was just kind of nervous about me pushing out a 10-pound baby. And then especially doing that naturally and unmedicated. And so she kind of was like putting a bug in my ear about a C-section. Now, when it came to a C-section, I absolutely did not want a C-section, because I heard that the recovery was really rough. My aunt had 2 C-sections and her recovery was really rough. My son's dad was okay with whatever decision I made. My mom was also okay with whatever decision I made, but her and I were also on the page of Definitely want to try to do this the natural way, and not get a C-section if I don't have to. Of course, I prayed about it and everything, and my mom, she started saying like Jetson come forth, because we weren't sure if he was going to come on his due date, or if he was going to come early, or if he was going to come after his due date. So my mom just kept saying like Jetson come forth. She was proclaiming that over my womb and like speaking to him and telling him to come forth. So one day I get on the phone with my OB. This was like a week before my due date. This was a week before my due date, and I ended up expressing to her some of my concerns and some of the things that I was considering. And so she laid out my options for me as far as if I was to do it naturally, that there is a potential that my son could still come via C-section, because anything can happen once you go into labor. Like, you can go in doing it the natural way and then have to be rushed into an emergency C-section. So she did let me know that it's a possibility. If I do it naturally, it's a big chance that I would have to be rushed to do an emergency C-section, and that would be way more chaotic because I wouldn't have been prepared for an emergency C-section, because it's an emergency C-section. My options on the table were getting induced, which is what she was suggesting, scheduling a C-section, or just waiting to see if when he comes and doing it naturally, with the possibility of an emergency C-section happening. So I decided to just do scheduling induction. So we scheduled my induction. I genuinely tried so hard to get the induction scheduled for October. It ended up being scheduled for September 28th. So I start planning, like, getting everything I needed, packing my bags, getting the room ready. So induction day comes, and I had done so much research. I'm like, bro, with an induction, it was giving like, from what I understood from my research, an induction is far more painful than a regular unmedicated birth, because it's like man-made hormones. Whatever they put in you, it like forces your contractions rather than them happening on its own. The man-made hormones is forcing your body to contract. And so it's more painful than a regular unmedicated natural birth. And so for that reason, I said, man, bump all that. Give me the epidural. I'm not finna play, because if I'm doing it natural, I'll thug it out. I'll try my best to thug it out, trusting the Lord. But if I'm doing this induction, baby, give me the epidural. Stick my back, baby. Stick my back. Stick it in. Stick it in. Like, what? Stick it in. So I gladly give me the epidural. As soon, I literally kept asking the nurse, like, okay, when can I get the epidural? Give me the epidural, please. Please, please, please. So yeah, they stuck that in my back. And y'all, I'm so squeamish. So like, even when they gave me the epidural, I'm like, and I was so scared because my auntie, like I told y'all, my auntie has had 2 C-sections. And one thing she told me that scared me, baby, when they put that epidural, that needle in your back, if they put it in wrong, or if you move, like you jump while they're sticking you, because it's a long needle. So this long needle, which I didn't know that till I looked it up, a long needle that they stick in your back, and if you jump, you could be paralyzed. And so that scared me, and that always stuck with me. She even told me that before I even had a baby. But even once I had my son, like she would tell me, like, if you get an epidural, like, you got to stay still, or if you move, it can paralyze you. So I'm over there like suck it in. Like, I'm sucking my stomach in. I'm clenching my pelvis, and I'm just like not breathing, because I just don't want to die, and I don't want to be stuck like Chuck, babe. So yeah, the lady sticks it in. That took about a good 5 minutes or so. I'm laying there. It's me, my son's dad, my mom are in there. At some point, my mom ends up leaving, and it's me and my son's dad, like, staying there overnight or whatnot. I forgot what it was, but they gave me something to start getting my body to open up, to get my vaginal area to open up. And so a little bit of time after that, that's when they gave me the epidural. And then, they hooked me up to like some type of monitor thing to monitor the baby's heart rate and keep up with my vitals and stuff. So to make sure that my baby was in good condition. I'm so glad I got that epidural because they have to check your cervix. Mind you, I've done research on all this stuff, baby. So I'm already kind of like, I'm so glad I got that epidural because they're literally sticking their hands up your hoo-ha. And I'm very squirmish. Okay, I'm very, very squirmish. And mind you, before I had my son, before I got pregnant, I was a virgin. So I'm not used to stuff being stuck up me. Like, it's just not that. Like, it's just not that. So I'm literally like so grateful for the epidural because I didn't feel a thing. I just felt pressure. The epidural kicks in. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like I'm floating on marshmallows. So let a little bit of time pass by. Epidural starts to wear off a little bit. So now with the epidural, at some point it's going to wear off. And that's when you can ask for another dose. And so I started to feel pain or whatnot. And it was weird because I've heard, I forgot where I heard it, but I heard like when I was doing my research that the contractions feel like you have to poop. And I thought it was a joke because what do you mean? But y'all, when I say literally, it felt like I had to poop really, 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 really bad. But it's the baby's head coming down. I start feeling contractions, so I had them give me another dose of the epidural. By the time I got the second dose of the epidural, I don't know at what point I started getting shakes, but I just started getting hecka shakes, bro. Like, I was shaking so much. It was starting to scare me. I remember distinctly like moving around on the bed. Mind you, I'm scared moving around on the bed because I have this big fat needle in my back and I cannot snatch it out of my back moving around too much. So I'm kind of pretty much stationary and I'm like looking around the room, scanning the room. Like my brothers had came and visit me and checking on me. My mom still was there. This is the next day. My mom's there in the morning. My baby's father is still there. So they're literally like seeing me like shaking. Like I'm so vulnerable. I'm just sitting there like shaking. And it started getting worse and worse over time. As my OB kept coming and checking on the baby, he started dilating little by little, right? But he would never get past 5 centimeters dilated. So my OB was like, okay, we're going to give it about another hour. And if he has not dilated further than these 5 centimeters, we need to do a C-section because it's a safety thing at that point. And so because he should have dilated further than what he was, but I could tell that he was trying because I could feel his head like pushing down. That's when they went to go get the guy who was going to be doing my C-section. I was kind of like out of it just a tad because I was just so exhausted from the shakes. And I couldn't find any relief from it. Being warm wasn't helping. Like nothing could resolve the shakes. And so I remember the guy that was doing my C-section, he came in and I'm like freaking out. My mom's right there. My baby's dad is right there. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like literally sitting there on the bed. Mind you, my lips are crusty. I feel very ugly. My baby daddy is seeing me in this very vulnerable state. I'm just like, this is too much. And I'm shaking and I'm hurting. And I don't understand what is going on. Why is my baby not dilating further than 5 centimeters? Like, bro, like, what's happening? So I'm literally sitting there shaking. When I tell y'all, it's like I'm on crack times 25. Like, I don't understand. What do they put? What causes the shakes? Like, it blows my mind. My OB was saying like, oh, it's probably because you're getting closer to labor. But I'm like, well, where he at then? Where is he at? There, I distinctly remember the surgeon. He talking about,
oh yeah, and I'm gonna give you another shot for some medication. It's gonna give you a bit of the shakes, but
what you mean it's gonna give me the shakes? I'm already shaking. What do you mean, sir? It's gonna give me shakes. I'm already shaking. So y'all, I'm sitting there, y'all. Mind you, there's people coming in and out of the room because they're like getting stuff ready to transfer me. They have to transfer me all the way to another room. The whole entire time, in my mind, the room is spinning. Because all I could think about in my head is, can this be over with? So literally, y'all, I'm sitting there. My baby daddy right here. My mom is right here. And I'm literally sitting here with my big old pregnant belly and I'm shaking my butt off and I'm hunched over and I'm like literally having a full-blown panic attack. I told you I'm very dramatic, but like genuinely, I had a panic attack. Cause like that sent me over the edge. Cause what do you mean I'm finna shake more? I was just done after that. Like I was done. I was over it. So yeah, he gave me the medicine, and I literally can hear my mom and him talking. Cause I think my mom was concerned about me getting all this different medication that they were giving me, and he was like,
I definitely would advise that she gets this because otherwise she's gonna literally feel us cutting her open. Like she would be in extreme pain to feel us cutting her open like that.
so yeah, she's like, okay, fine, like blah blah blah, woody woo. And I remember nothing else after that point. All I remember, like, I don't even remember how I got from the room that I was in to the surgery room. I don't remember being in the hallway. I don't remember seeing like lights and stuff. I don't remember them putting me on a table. Nothing. All I remember is I was there doing all this. I can't do it. Freaking the freak out. Freak out. Freak out. Yeah, doing all that. Wake up, boom, eyes closed, boom, blah, blah. I am in the surgery room laying on the table. I just see like lights and stuff and like people all around me, but I'm like kind of like out of it just a little. I'm kind of out of it. And so black after that. Like I don't remember anything after that, but I kind of remember a couple times I'll like open my eyes and like my son's dad is like standing over me and like telling me I love you and just like trying to be supportive, like encouraging me, telling me like he's proud of me and stuff like that, and like just talking to me because he was scared because like he was telling me like after the fact that I was bleeding a lot, like it was a lot of blood coming out of me and like it was like a pool of blood on the floor. So he was getting scared, so like he kept coming over to me and talking to me and trying to make sure that I'm alive. Hello. I remember those moments where he would be like standing over me, talking to me and saying stuff to me, and I really couldn't respond much, but I'll kind of be like, I was out of it. I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, y'all, and I forgot to mention this part. I wanted water so freaking bad. I could not have water. When they took me down to the surgery room and I'm laying on the table and my eyes were open for just like a little bit. And I remember at one point I'll ask for water. Like I just needed water. I could not get water. They were like, you can't have any fluids. You can't have anything to drink. Like, no. Mind y'all, I haven't eaten. Don't even let me get started on no food. I haven't even eaten. I forgot at what point I had to stop drinking, but at some point I had to stop drinking. Like once I knew I was going to be getting a C-section. Okay, so like I said, I'm in and out of it. I'm like blacked out at one point. Next point, I see my son's dad. Cause it only could have been one in the room with me, and so my son's dad was in the room with me, and my mom was like out in the hallway. So I'll black out, open my eyes, see my baby dad, standing over me. Oh my gosh, she has a lot of hair. Like I just heard that. Oh my gosh, she has a lot of hair. Woke up hearing that, and I'm like, oh, he's here, and they're like, he's here, or whatever, and I was so out of it, y'all. I couldn't even process. I couldn't even smile. I couldn't even say, can I see? I couldn't say anything. I'm just laying there because I literally cannot talk. I'm like, it was almost like I was in a vegetable state or like I was having an out of body experience in a sense because it's like I'm hearing y'all. I'm seeing from what my view is. I can't see like further out, but I can see like the ceiling and everything, the lights and everything. So I can see and I can hear, but I can't say anything. And so, and I think it was just like maybe the shock of everything. I don't know. But after I heard that my son was there, whatnot, I just kept feeling a pressure. Like, I don't know what, to this day, I have no idea what was happening, but like they were like pushing and it was like, he was like doing like this inside my stomach. And I'm like, bro, whatever he's doing, I feel it. And I tried to like muster up the words to say that hurts. Cause I don't know what was happening, but it hurt so bad. I have never felt anything like that in my life. I don't even know what to equate that pain to, but it was like, I could tell he was pushing something inside of my stomach. and it hurt. And I was trying to say, like, mouth it that it hurt. And I was getting scared because I did not know how much longer he had to be doing all that. Like, get up out of me. I was so, like, after I, like, came to me again, I was really sad that I didn't get the experience of holding my baby after I had him, because in my head, like I told you at the beginning, I had a plan. I had a birth plan and everything. And on that birth plan, I wanted to have skin to skin. I wanted to latch my son for the first time immediately after having him. Because I had learned so much in my breastfeeding class about how babies know that they need to feed themselves, and they will literally lay on you, and they will make their way to the nipple and latch themselves. We don't have to force them. Like, they innately know what to do. It's just beautiful. But I was really sad that I didn't get that experience. I didn't even see his face. Like, after I had my son, I did not even see his face for the first, like, 12 hours. So, and that's because I was so out of it. But my son's dad was able to see him. He cut his umbilical cord. I missed all of that. So that really was really devastating for me. But I got over that. And so I remember after the surgery and everything's done, I'm laying there. I'm in so much pain, y'all. The pain after a C-section, unmatched. Okay, I'm laying there and I'm like, can I please get something to drink? Like, just give me something to drink. So they come and they give me like some water. I sip on some water, and my son's dad is like, I'm finna go get your mom, because she's like super worried or whatever. So my mom comes in. I'm like talking a little bit with my mom, and I'm like asking her if she's seen him yet, and she's like, no, blah blah blah. My son's dad was gonna send me a picture, but I told him no. Like, I want to see him for the first time in real life, in the flesh, like live and in the flesh. I want to lay eyes on my son in person and not on a picture. And so I had no idea how he was gonna look. Like, I really tried not to like think too much about that, because I knew I was gonna love him regardless. So I was just like, I don't want to think too much about how he looked, but I hope he looked like me. And he do. He looked like his daddy too, but he looked more like me. Yeah, clock it. So, they end up wrapping me up, and then they take me. I walk down to they roll me to my room, and so I stay there in the room, and then about 6 o'clock in the morning, because they changed shifts at, I think, 5. So at 6 a.m. they were like, I would be able to go see my son, because my son was in the NICU. And because he was in the NICU, this is why I did not get to see my son after I had him, because they had to rush him to the NICU because he had fluid in his lungs. And so they were like, at 6 a.m. you can go to the NICU, just call them, make sure they're open. You can go down there as early as 6 a.m. to see your baby, and et cetera, et cetera. And you can call them up until 6 a.m. Like, before 6 a.m. you can call and check on your baby, see how he's doing and everything. So, of course, I call once I get down to the room, and I check on my baby and everything. And I'm not even gonna hold y'all. At 5:50, I'm getting up out of getting up out of the bed. Like, when trying to stand up after a C-section is extremely difficult. Like, trying to even straighten your body while you're standing is extremely hard, because it's like you're cut so deep and you're open. So it's super challenging trying to stand up and walk fresh after a C-section. But I kid y'all no lie, I got up. Took me a little minute, but I got up and I went to go see my baby, and I was in there 6 on the head. Okay. So we go in there, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was me and my mom at this point. It was me and my mom. So we go into the NICU. My mom hasn't seen him yet either. And y'all, we walk past, like, it's like not a lot of babies in there at this point, but I didn't think that was my baby. Y'all, why I walk right past my baby? Give me some grace, because I didn't know it was him. I did not know it was my baby. I walked right past my son. I didn't even see like his name tag or nothing. I walk past, and I'm like, I go to one of the women that were in there working. I was like, I'm here to see Jetson or whatever. And they were like, oh, he's back this way. So they walk us back in the direction that we came from. And they're like, here's Jetson or whatever. And I'm like, oh. So I walk over to my baby, and I'm literally looking at him like, oh my goodness. Like, he's so cute. Like, fresh out, like just cute. Like I was just so in love, and I was processing that was mine, that he is mine, that he just came from out of me, that for the past 9 months I've been baking you like that. Seeing my son for the first time meant everything to me. It wasn't easy seeing him hooked up to all these cords and stuff. I absolutely disliked that, but I was just so grateful to see my son alive and well. And he was on a breathing machine and everything. And at first he was struggling like with eating on his own. If he couldn't eat off of the machine without the tubes, if he couldn't eat without the tubes, he would have to stay longer. And so I started like practicing feeding him. I'm telling you, I'm up there every day, all day with my baby, and I'm like feeding him, and I'm just like skin to skin. I'm trying to latch him on, and I wasn't able to get him to latch on while I was at the hospital. My son did not latch until he was 3 months. They ended up letting him come back to the room after about the first 2 days. I think after 2 days, he was able to come to the room with me, and I was supposed to discharge the next day. And then something happened where my son, because he had fluid in his lungs, it really affected his respiratory system. So he would have these like episodes where he was struggling to breathe, and like his heart rate would go down, like whenever that would happen. And it would scare me so bad because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like seeing my baby in that distress, I just felt guilty because I'm like, I'm your mom and I have no idea what to do. Like it was freaking me out. We ended up having to stay an extra day because he had like a scare where his heart rate, like he turned purple. Like my son had turned purple, and his heart rate had gone down a lot because of him. Something was going on with his respiratory, with him trying to breathe or whatnot. And so we had to figure out this rhythm. There was a woman there. She was such an angel. I forget her name, but I'll never forget her face. She was so sweet. She was like showing me the proper way to feed him, to help him breathe while he's eating, and to pick up on the cues of when he needs to stop and take a breath. And you know what I'm saying? Because he's fresh out. Then he had this fluid in his lungs that affected his respiratory system. So he's a little more challenged at the moment with eating and breathing and knowing how to balance the two. But we ended up getting through that. And by the grace of God, we were out of there. I was in the hospital for, I think, 5 days. So I was in there about a week. Yeah, about a week. We were discharged the day before his actual due date. There's more to come for my pregnancy documentary, but for now, thank y'all for tuning into this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you care. Follow my socials on the screen. It's a rainy day, and yeah, y'all be easy.